So, why curse tablets? What's this social world of magic? And this is what I want you to think about. Is history a mirror? Do I look back in time and do I see a perfect reflection of the world? Or do I see a reflection of the world there? Or is history a window and I see the world accurately? I would argue that history doesn't have like a window where you can clearly see the past. What you can see is different reflections and refractions of the past through the material you look at. So the results and reasons for doing these rituals reveal a social context of magic ritual and the world of magic rituals. And there's some argument that Edmonds makes about some rituals affect the present, something that's going on right now, or something going on in the future. Now, if you have a curse that is supposed to affect the future, it would be considered most powerful if the curse never comes underway. If the curse never happens to someone, that means the curse really worked. Now, we should also remember that erotic magic, eros magic, comes out of this culture of cursing. Now, there is some discussion of self-cursing in which someone says something like, I will fade away, I will be unable to eat unless I keep my word. Here you're making like a public statement with magical implication, a sort of magical vow, which would be public. It wouldn't be private and secret and squirreled away like with the curse tablets. So if you have a ritual affecting the present as opposed to the future, then it would be very specific. And we have to remember that Greek life was agonistic. What do I mean by agonistic? I mean it's rivals, it's success, it's failure. Your success is the failure of another. Agonism, according to the OED, says strenuous struggling, competing for a prize, also a strenuous struggle, a combat, a competition. Beating your rivals in Greece is a sort of public sport. There is an agonistic world of these cursed tablets, giving voices to the fears of the individuals and the anxieties of individuals trying to deal in this competitive world of chariot racing and public debates, trying to win and being very anxious about it. And intriguingly, as I said before, we hear their voices recorded in these little cursed tablets. Their voices stretch to us now, and we can hear them. Now, I wrote The Agonistic World of Sacrifice. Well, in India, in the Vedic period, which is very, very early, you would see that sacrifice was a battle. One Brahmin would sacrifice in one area, doing a dramatic ritual, and another one on another hill would be doing another ritual. And they would be competing to see who could do it the best. And the one who could do it the best would get the most favor of the gods and the most patronage to their ritual sponsors. So why am I saying this? Because anytime I think about agonism, I think about that agonistic world of sacrifice. So I talked about presence being very specific, the future being sort of more general, and self-cursing, beating rituals, or beating rivals as public sport. We also see evidence of rituals being used as justice for theft. Say, may this person waste away because they took my what and what and what. The one thing is that these competitive curses against someone in the present are rarely murderous. They don't kill. So one thing we need to think about is, were the people doing these rituals just crazy, violent people that enjoyed violent imagery and enjoyed talking about doing horrible things to other people? Or was there something else going on? And I would argue there's something else going on. In all of these cases, the violence that is described is not merely an outlet for the sadistic malevolence of the agent, of the operator. The fact that these tablets were ritually inscribed and carefully prepared indicates that it is a carefully considered symbolic gesture rather than an uncontrollable emotional venting. It's not just releasing your frustration. Often, too, it is clear that the tablet was actually created by someone other than the person who wanted it to be done. There are presence of formulaic patterns of cursing indicates the activity of professional experts. So in the Greek magical papyri, when you have a ritual recipe and it says put so-and-so's name here and so-and-so's name here, that means a professional was probably like, all right, I'm consulting this, and I'm going to do my curse tablet, and I put it here and here and here. So the key here is to note that this isn't just acting out violent impulses. These rituals were thought to do something. Namely, to give you an edge in this agonistic social world. So how do these rituals work, or maybe not work? We know that they were considered effective because Greeks and Romans used them for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years, and all over the world. I mean, we find them everywhere from in what is now Greece to what is now Britain. We know the rituals were effective because they were actually connected to or enlivened by a superhuman power. In part of the ritual, it will say a deity or the power of the words or the magic tablet itself will cause the effect to happen. It's more than just a human agency. When you make the tablet, you're drawing into a power greater than the individual human being. Now, it's more than a normal human being could do. And this pattern is important. We see this throughout ritual magic. Sometimes a god is coerced. Sometimes a god is asked. Sometimes it pulls upon a ghost or a spirit to do the violence of the magic. And sometimes the superhuman power is just the inherent power of the ritual itself. So fundamentally, a curse is an efficacious wish for someone else's harm. Where's this one? In all these cases, the violence. I already said that. Anyway, okay, I have a quote that didn't get up there. Sorry. So fundamentally, a curse is an efficacious wish for someone else's harm, an expression of violence and malevolence, ill wishing, and it produces a desired effect. Now, since it is not within the power of a normal human being to instantaneously bring their wishes to fruition, some extraordinary power is required. That power may not be explained or even named within the text itself.